To assemble your Allegro stretch reformer, you'll need an Allen wrench and an open-end wrench, which are included with your reformer, and a knife to open the packaging. Hi, my name is Kayleen, and I'm the Pilates mechanic here in the BB Garage.
And I'm Ken Endelman. I'm the assistant to the Pilates mechanic here at the BB Garage.
He's also the CEO of Balanced Body, so we're really glad to have him here today. And what are we doing today, Ken?
We are going to unbox and put together the Allegro One Stretch.
Yes, this machine is long.
Do you know how much longer it is?
I don't.
It's 18 inches longer.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's big.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we'll probably find some other differences between the stretch and the regular as we unbox this, won't we?
We'll talk about them.
All right.
Okay.
So let's start with getting it out of the box, yeah?
Lesson number 1.
Watch your fingers.
Watch your fingers.
Yes.
Watch for the staples.
Cardboard cuts and staples.
Staple cuts.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You want to start on
Minimize your
that end?
perforations. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Let's have you start over there. I'll start over here.
Great. Okay.
Go.
Ready.
All right.
I've
got a knife. I'm just going to be really careful about where I put this blade so I don't cut any upholstery.
Thank you.
So I've found the foot bar. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Where should I put this? Right over here. Now, when you're taking out any of these boxes, you just want to be sure that you aren't throwing away any parts that are hidden in creases or other parts of the box. Something in here. Shoulder rests, loops, and some foot bar hardware. All right. Okay, Ken, should we lift this thing out?
We should lift it out and see. So you'll need to lift it and pull it away from you so we can free the wheels.
Okay. You ready?
You go first, and then once then I can get my hands underneath there. Okay, ready?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we've got some other stuff in the box here. Looks like some pads. And a manual. Okay. All right, I'm going to get these boxes, the big ones, out of the way real quick.
Right.
I'm going to slide this one over.
I'll move the foot bar. Okay.
I think we can move the reformer back a little bit.
All right. How far back?
About a width, right there.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a few things to install. The foot bar, shoulder rests, the risers and the ropes. So, shall we get started?
Let's start.
Okay.
Start with the foot bar.
Let's start with the foot bar. Now, we need a couple of bolts for this foot bar. And I see a bag of foot bar hardware here. Okay. So these bolts that have the shoulder on them are for the foot bar pivot point. Okay? And we're going to slide one of these thin washers around the bolt here. Okay. The other two pieces that are in this bag are the lockout knobs, and we'll install those after we do the foot bar. Whoops. All right, Ken, do you want to hold the foot bar while I install the bolts?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question for
Okay.
you. What do I need to know about the orientation of this foot bar?
We need to position the foot bar so that the Velcro is away from the carriage. Great question.
Thanks.
Yes.
Just thought I'd throw that one in there.
That's a fantastic point. All right, so go ahead. So you'll see the silver plate, the trunnion. And does it matter where these go? I think we'll push them all the way to the end so they're both in the same spot.
I like to put them to the end, and that's a good place to start.
All right.
All right?
So Ken's going to depress the plunger levers and then align. Oh, there we go. And he's actually going to put the plungers in the same hole on both sides. Okay. Now you're going to tip the foot bar so that the bottom hole here aligns with the hole on the trunnion. Okay.
This hole with
Yep,
this hole.
exactly.
Got it.
And then I will slide the shoulder bolt in and tighten it with my hand.
Notice this jiggling motion because it helps get the screw in there easier.
Aha, yes. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. In the bag of parts, there should be an Allen wrench that's big enough for these bolts. So I'm going to give the bolts a nice twist until they bottom out. Okay. Ken, you want to do that side?
Yep. Oops. Oh. There we go.
Okay. All right, so the foot bar is installed, but it moves, right? So this is why we need our lockout knobs.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you that one. We'll notice that there are some threads on here. So I think we're just going to thread them in.
Throw them in. Sometimes I actually like to retract them a little bit first,
Okay.
because then they find the hole for easier.
So what Ken did is he pulled the knob out, twisted it so that now it is stuck out. All right. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, threading this knob in. Okay. Now we've got a wrench. We're going to tighten the knob. Thank you. Okay. Now the knobs are stuck out, so we're going to stick them in so that the little protrusions align with the slots, right?
Align the protrusion with the slot. And
Mine's not going in.
that's because we're not lined up.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so now the foot bar is not moving. To adjust the position of the foot bar, we would pull those out and slide the foot bar.
Right. We can either hold them out until they go to the next one, or we can twist them halfway. They'll lock out until we get to about where we want to be, and then
Yep,
they fall into place.
great. All right. So we're over here on the foot bar end, Ken, and I'm noticing we've got a couple of pads in here. And it seems like this one matches up with this big old standing platform. You think that's right?
I think that's exactly right.
Okay. But you were just telling me earlier that there's something else. I was like, why
Yeah.
do we have this other one?
Well, we got this big machine, right? And we have a big standing platform for the big machine. But maybe you don't want the big standing platform. Maybe you like the little platform. Well, guess what? It comes off like this.
Just lifts out. So this must be for that smaller standing platform.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So how do you put that thing back in?
Well, there's these cool little tongues here, and they just need to fit into the slot.
Oh, so I
Right.
see 2 holes on the smaller
holes,
standing
right.
platform.
Right? They go in like this, and then these 2 things fit into the hole, and it's in.
Awesome.
You're in.
Great.
And now it's massively wide.
Well, that's an awesome feature. Okay. Let's move up to the carriage.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can already see there's something very obvious missing on the carriage. Shoulder rests, right? But this carriage looks a little bit different than, say, a standard Allegro.
Yes.
What is different about this?
Well, it didn't make sense to make just the machine longer to accommodate a taller person, when a taller person could also be a larger person. And especially when you're working with athletes, elite athletes, some of them are just bigger. And so it became really obvious that if we're going to have a longer reformer, we needed to make a wider carriage and also a longer carriage.
Yep, that makes sense.
So the new cool thing about the A1B stretch is that we made the carriage longer, and we made it wider, and we added these camphors here. So now when you move the spring bar back, there's no pinch point here.
Oh, that's great.
So now you have the same exact ratios with the A1B standard size as with the A1B stretch.
Oh, that's
So,
fantastic.
So you get all the combinations you want. And the other thing that we did also here is the springs are actually longer.
Okay, so these have different springs than a standard reformer.
Different springs, similar but longer. You make
Longer.
the springs a little bit longer, you change them a little bit. But the cool thing with these springs is that they can be extended out that full 18 inches and still have the same life as all our regular
Great.
springs.
Great, so they go the extra distance safely.
The extra mile safely, yes.
Good. Okay.
All right.
The other thing I see underneath here, Ken, a little piece of cardboard sticking out from under the carriage, between the carriage and the frame. Do you see that on that side?
I do see that.
Should we take those out?
I think we should, because what happens if we don't?
I bet you, and maybe you can tell me if I'm right or not, I bet you that these are on here so that when the reformer is in its box, it's not resting on the wheels.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we want the wheels to actually do
We
something.
want the wheels to work, and we want actually the carriage to move.
Okay.
And that's
So
a big plus too.
let's go ahead and take those pieces of
All right.
cardboard out.
Okay.
We'll probably have to move the foot bar back.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'm just going to lift up the carriage a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
it's actually super long.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And I'll
There
do
we go.
mine. Okay.
And then the last thing, we're going to find our shoulder rests here in our box. You want to take one?
Sure.
Now these shoulder rests have the really cool twist lock posts, so we'll have to install those. There's one for you. And these shoulder rest brackets actually have 2 slots on each side, which I'm assuming helps to accommodate those wider and bigger people we were talking about.
The brawny dudes and the brawny dudettes.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotta fit. All right, so to install your twist lock post on the shoulder rest, you're going to align the wider end with the bolt and twist it on. We're not going to tighten it all the way until we get them on the carriage, okay? All right, I'm going to start over here. So these will just slide in, and they're a little bit loose here. That's when we want to tighten down the knobs, righty-tighty. Okay, and there we go. So this is really nice. 4 positions, or actually I guess, yeah, there's
It's
4.
It's 4.
Because there's 2 here and 2 here, but also if we swap the shoulder rests, we'll make them wider or narrower as well. Right?
Exactly.
All right. Cool. So moving up from the carriage, did we miss anything else on the carriage or the foot end?
We're dialed.
We're dialed in. All right, so I think it's time for ropes and risers. I'm going to hand these to you.
Okay.
And the rope.
Got it.
And I'm going to take the risers. Okay, we've also got a DVD in here, but we'll leave that there for now. So up here at the riser end, there are two big holes on the frame, and we're going to slide the risers in after we pull out the quick release pin. Okay, so I'm going to slide the riser in, and then my quick release pin should go back in the slot, and it will actually go through a hole in the riser so that the riser doesn't twist or pull out. Okay, so same thing over here, removing the pin, sliding the riser in, and replacing the pin. Okay, ropes.
Next we have the ropes. These are soft touch ropes.
I love that design. So
Okay.
quiet.
How they work is you put the little loop inside the big loop, then you put the bigger loop inside the smaller loop. And it's done, right? And that one's ready. All right, let's try it again. Little loop inside the big loop, and then the big loop inside the little loop. Don't get
All
loopy.
the loops.
Don't get loopy doing this. It's a little loopy. Okay, here's first
All
rope.
right. I'm going to take the end of the rope, thread it through the pulley, and hand it back to
Take
Ken.
it back this way. And then it comes back in through here. And I'm going to take this away just so you can see better. But it goes through the first eye strap, right?
Yep.
And then through the cleats and through the next eye strap. And then I usually put this back on here just so I can get in the same. I pull it until it's firm. And then I like to tuck the rope into here.
Great.
Okay?
Let's do the same thing on the other side.
Same thing on this side. And then we'll hide the rope. There you go.
Awesome. So we've got the foot bar installed, the carriage taken care of, the ropes and the loops and the shoulder rests. Are we missing anything else here?
I don't think we're missing anything else, but I should say that pretty soon we're going to not have DVDs in the packaging. They'll be available online and you can stream them with all our other videos. And it will eliminate some waste here. And since nobody looks at these things anyway, they're going to be history.
Awesome. Well, there are other things that you can add on to this reformer, like legs and a tower. So if you want to do that, you can head on over to the BB Garage website to check out those videos. Now, Ken, do you know where they can find the BB Garage website?
I'm guessing it might be at Pilates.com.
Pilates.com/BB Garage.
BB Garage.
Super easy. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in the garage.